Welcome to the Hockey Huddle, the ultimate podcast for hockey fans by hockey fans, where we break down the latest on and off ice from power plays to game-changing trades. Whether you're a diehard fan or new to the sport, we've got all the action, analysis, and hot takes you'll need to stay in the game. We'll bring you exclusive interviews with other fans, weekly breakdowns, and everything you need to know from the NHL and beyond. So lace up your skates, grab your stick, and let's drop the puck on today's episode of the Hockey Huddle. Well, here we are, episode number 9, and we're happy to be with you. I am wearing my shirt that represents my thoughts on the current reffing situation in the NHL. Yeah, that's the Grinch. I do not like the reffing, but this is not going to start with me bitching about refs. We had a little hiatus last week. It is holiday time around here, and tough to get schedules sorted out, Jay, but here we are. We're back. We said we were going to have a special guest this week. Unfortunately, our special guest can't make it.
My gosh, she's a podcast tease. She has been saying, I want to come on, and then she's like, for sure I'm going to be there, and then she's not here. So that's my version of a tease, and she equals tease.
The queen of nicknames will join us. It's going to happen, just not this week because we can't make it work. So we're just not famous enough. I think that's the problem.
Yeah, I think we need to be a little more famous. Let's go get a bar fighter. Let's go get a bar fight with 7 guys, but then I would be dead. So what happened to Jason? He fought 7 guys and he's dead. Yeah, that's it. Here's the footage and he's dead.
They just kicked his head right off his shoulders. Gone.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice knowing him.
Yeah, Ichabod Crane, headless horseman. He doesn't need him. Whatever, he's gone. Done,
hey, we got some breaking news or some hot news since we were last on the pod. That's the Four Nations rosters. And speaking of teams that are headless, we'll jump right into the Four Nations rosters. I think I want to talk about Finland first because I don't think Finland's got a chance of winning this thing. They've got some good players.
They've got some good players. Everybody says that. They go like, well, they got some good players. If their goalies stand on his head, then possibly they can win a game.
You know who else has some good players? Anaheim, dead last in the league, I think. They're dead last right now.
Yeah,
or is it Chicago? Is it Chicago?
Yeah.
And Chicago has this guy on their team. They have a guy on their team that's not on the Team Canada roster.
Ooh.
But we'll get back to that one. We'll go to Finland first. I'm going to buzz off a couple of names here for Finland, and you tell me what you think. Sebastian Aho, Joel Armia, Barkov, Granlund, Eric Hula, Rupe Hintz, Capo Caco, maybe the best name in hockey. Capo Caco.
I have another really best name I want to talk about later, but that's
yeah. Okay.
Kaiser Wyatt.
Oh, that's a good one.
What a great name. Like,
wow.
It's like,
that sounds like royalty.
Right? Like Kaiser Wyatt. He plays for Chicago, ironically, and we're going to get to that later. You know who should be last overall? Is the Anaheim Ducks 3rd jersey. What is that?
Dude,
that's ugly.
That's terrible.
Yeah, seriously, like, they're not making any money because they haven't sold any. They can't even give them away. They're terrible. Burnt orange on.
I was talking to a buddy of mine on Wednesday, and I am not behind that jersey.
No, terrible.
Retire that. Like, honestly, you had all the Disney-related things you can go with in that.
Yeah.
Nope, thumbs down. No cowbell. Is more cowbell? No. Bad cowbell. Patrick Laine, Arturi Lehkonen, Anton Lundell from the Florida Panthers. I don't know who that is. Eetu Luostarinen from the Florida Panthers.
Yeah, I know him.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Mikko Rantanen, heard of that guy. And Teuvo Teravainen, I definitely heard of that guy.
Cool.
So that's the forward group for Finland. Then you got Jani Hakanpää from your Toronto Maple Leafs. Miro Heiskanen, so good. Esa Lindell, Olli Mata, Nico Mikkola, Rasmus Ristolainen, and Juuso Välimäki. So that's the kind of forward and defense group. Then in net, you've got maybe the most difficult name in the NHL to say, and I'm going to call it UPL. From Buffalo, UPL.
From Buffalo,
UPL. Pekka Luukkonen, UPL. Kevin Lankinen from Vancouver, and UC Saros from the Predators. Now, I would have said Finland could have been held in there by their goalies, but UC Saros has not played well. He has not looked very good, and where is the Saros of yesterday or yesteryear? Not a good performance so far from him. UPL, I think he's got a great future ahead of him, but I don't know if UPL is going to do anything for Buffalo.
No.
In the next year or two. Buffalo's on a roller coaster. They're great for 3 games and then hot garbage 3 games later. I don't know what the hell's going on in Buffalo.
They have no plan, buddy. No plan.
And Lindy Ruff, I blame him. It's obviously the coach's fault and not the team that they put together.
Mm-hmm. Weird. Yeah, no,
Weird.
Buffalo, Detroit, Ottawa, all the exact same team. If you combined all those teams together, you may have
You'd
half a team.
you'd still have a shitty team.
Yeah, shitty team.
Okay.
Not good.
Hey,
Not
I think like obviously the standouts for Finland, Sebastian Aho, obviously, and also what name do you think there's two of in the NHL right now?
Sebastian Aho plays for Pittsburgh on defense, and he is a forward for your Carolina Hurricanes who are playing Ottawa tonight. I was going to talk about that.
Why?
Isn't that
What
crazy?
of all the names? Like you'd think it'd be like John Smith,
Yeah.
Bob Brown.
Yeah,
No.
Craig Smith, right? There's a Craig Smith, only one, but Sebastian Aho. I was watching about a year ago. We were watching Toronto and the Islanders, and they said, and Sebastian Aho takes the puck up the wing. I'm like, what? Did the Islanders pick up Sebastian Aho? And I didn't hear about this. Yeah, two Sebastian Ahos, and I think actually one's Finnish and one's Swedish, right? So the Sebastian Aho's on Finland is the one that scores, and the other Sebastian Aho's who's Swedish did not even make the team.
Yeah, so, and that's the Swedish one, not on Team Sweden. Barkov, obviously, Sebastian Aho, Patrick Laine to an extent. Like, they've got some good firepower on that team.
Yep.
Rupe Hintz is, the guy can score pretty much whatever he wants from Dallas. So overall, like, it's good. The
It's
defense
good, but
core is not great. So when
Joel
Yanni Hockey
Armina.
you're not...
Joel
Armina, yeah.
He's-
Did you say
Okay, we
Armina?
need-
Armina.
And what did I call
Armina.
whatever?
It is Friday, but not at 3. I think it's a
Friday at 3.
but it is Friday the 13th. So is it like a Friday the 13th?
Double, yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay,
Joel,
so
Montreal.
a big bunch of meh on that team, right? Well,
Yeah,
Rantanen, okay, cool. And Soros, if he stands on his head, couple like number 3s on defense, and
You got
know,
Heiskanen. Heiskanen's great. Heiskanen's an all-star defenseman, but like one defenseman is not going to win you the best on best tournament.
No, they're finishing fourth. They're finishing fourth, we think.
They're obviously finishing fourth.
Okay,
obviously.
so
let's go to team. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You go.
I was gonna say Jacob Trouba. Is he a little whiny baby, or is he really standing up for, this was unfortunate. I did not want to get traded, so no. And then they said, I loved it. They go, that's fine. We're just going to put you on waivers, and then the team that we wanted to trade you anyways is going to pick you up. Haha, trickster. Because you know what? The players for the longest time had it was the owners, say up until 1993, had the players by the cojones, and now it's been the players who've had the owners by the cojones,
By the hockey bucks.
By the hockey bucks. And I love that they said, we're going to put you on waivers. Jacob Trouba, number 65 on Anaheim. He looked terrible last night. I watched him. He didn't hit anything. He didn't even hit the ice. It was not good. So bad. That team, oh my gosh. Oh.
There was 3 hits, and the 3 hits were not his 2 skates hitting the ice. It was him hitting the bench, the water bottle hitting the inside of the bench. Like, oh yeah.
It was bad. And then
so bad.
Oh my, so bad. And they have like their defense. When you look at it, has got what? Sorry, I'm jumping on that Anaheim defense. They got Cam Fowler. They got Gudis. They got Jacob Trouba. Right. So I mean, those 3 guys right there, that should be pretty good defenders, but they're terrible.
Radko Gudis got in a little scrap the other night on Wednesday. Who were they playing against? I can't remember who they were playing against.
Was it Ottawa or?
It might have been, it was Ottawa. And so they ended up getting, Ottawa ended up getting the instigator penalty. And you see this guy come over to Radko Gudis, and I'm watching this go down. It's like the Gallagher-Renski fight the other night. Like,
okay, yeah.
What are you thinking going to fight Renski when you are 5'7" and you weigh 139 when you're holding the brick? What?
Well, the C on his chest weighed another 40 pounds. Who knew, like, Gudis was the captain? Like, what are they doing? Yeah. Like, if Gudis is the captain of your team, give your head a shake, Anaheim. Whoa. Friday's at 3 there.
That's a Friday at 3. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oops. Hey, let's talk about teams. So Finland coming in 4th place. We have nothing good to say about them, so we'll say nothing else.
Bye. Yep.
Sweden is Victor Arvidsson, Jesper Bratt, Leo Carlsson, Joel Eriksson Ek. I don't. Jesus, what did I do?
Joel.
There?
Again, these Joel guys, right? Joel. It's Joel.
Joel Eriksson Ek, Philip Forsberg, like that guy, great mustache.
Yeah.
William Karlsson, Adrian Kempe, Elias Lindholm. Which one?
Is that the one that's on Boston?
From the Boston Bruins.
Boston Bruins.
Your number 88 on his jersey, but number 1 or 2 in your heart, depending on how you feel about it.
Nylander.
William Nylander. Gustav Nyquist. Lots of trade rumors around Gustav Nyquist and the Toronto Maple Leafs, by the way.
I've heard that.
Elias Peterson. We're gonna go with We're going to go with the proper EP. There we go. Lucas Raymond and Mika Zibanejad, which I didn't know. I would never would have guessed he was a Swedish origin.
Well, yeah, his hair, his blonde, long locks hair, not even blonde at all. Well, and then they asked Nylander at the end of the conference, after the end of the game when he got picked for Team Sweden, and he goes, I actually don't know the team. All I know is they called me and they said they want me to play with Zibanejad. And that's what he said. I'm like, okay, so you guys both have flow, so is that what's going on there? Maybe, right? I don't know, but that's what he said. And it's sad.
Zibanejad's not been good. Like, he's been shit this year.
We'll get there.
We'll talk about Team Canada and who's there and who's not there. On defense, and I'm going to go in a different order here. Okay. Yeah, so Victor Hedman.
Okay.
Erik Karlsson. Karlsson, old. Victor Hedman, old.
Mm-hmm.
Rasmus Dahlin, young, fast.
Yeah,
only fast, reason Buffalo. The only reason the Buffalo's won. Terrible. No hockey IQ.
No, none, zero.
Gustav Forsling.
He plays for Florida.
Who?
He's a good. He's
a great defense. He's a defensive defenseman. Love that guy.
Yeah.
Matthias Ekholm, Edmonton Oilers.
That's for Edmonton, number 14.
And a guy I think that could have some serious impact, Rasmus Andersson from the Calgary Flames.
Anderson. He's very soft-spoken. I like Anderson. He's good.
He is. And he is surprising. Like, he is a surprising talent. Like, you watch him play, and he takes over offensively and defensively in the games. Like, he is truly an offensive defenseman and does a great job. So I think it was, at one point, it was, when I saw the game, it was 3-2. Did you see the Kadri goal where he jumped over the guy and half
he jumped over the guy, speed wobbled, came over, and then scored? I'm like, oh, okay. And guess what he said? We need to play better defense. And I spit my beer out.
Of all people to say we need to play better defense is the guy who doesn't know that the hockey rink goes from goal line to goal line. He thinks it goes from goal line to blue line.
Yeah. He's got a problem. He's changed since he's left the Toronto Maple Leafs. That's what I'm saying right now.
And the trade rumors around this guy, like their trade rumors are buzzing, and people are linking him to Toronto. It is. People are linking him to Toronto.
No, it's not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
I loved Nazem Kadri, and then I found he was 34, and I was like, that's a little old and dog years for skating and stuff. I would rather have probably I don't know if anybody's going to slap me around when it hears, but I'd rather have Fraser Minton than Nazem Kadri on the team. You know, have fresh legs.
No slapping required. I agree.
Okay, cool. I like it. More cowbell. Ding, ding, ding.
More cowbell. Fraser Minton's been fantastic. He's been great.
Yeah, I love him.
Who wouldn't want that guy?
He's good.
Goalies for Team Sweden. Philip Gustafsson. He's been amazing this year. Jacob Markstrom, who's also been amazing. And Linus Lallmark.
Yeah, what's going on there?
Yikes.
Well, and okay. Keep going. Sorry, I just wanted to jump on another topic. I'm going to wait.
I'm going to wait. I was going to say how terrible Linus Lallmark is, and I'm happy, but I wish he was terrible playing for Boston, not terrible playing for Ottawa. But I'm okay that he's terrible playing for Ottawa, too, because I hate Ottawa and Boston, so it doesn't really matter.
Equally. Well, okay, let's say Lallmark had a Canadian passport. Would he be our best goalie then?
By far.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
By far, he'd be the best goalie. And hey, let's talk about that after we talk about the 13th province, according to us, the United States.
Before we go, do you think Sweden's going to finish third? Their third is a wrap.
That's a great question. Are they third or are they fourth?
No, they're third. Finland's
a team, right? Like Finland is a team. Like they play as a team. They play as a group. Right. That's how they come up in the hockey, like through the ranks. Like
true.
I could see Finland coming in third, and I could see Sweden coming in fourth, unless you've got Philip Gustafsson, who just steals a tournament.
Yeah, he could. He's a great goaltender, right?
And he's on a tear. Like, we'll talk about the standings in a second. Look at where Minnesota is right now.
I can't believe that where they are. That's just ridiculous.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the United States of Canada? United States.
The Donald Trump's USA people.
That's right.
This guy's, anyways. Go ahead. Yeah, let's do USA first.
Let's not talk about politics. That is, we're gonna get some opposite love on social media.
Well, we'd have to wait for Lisa for that, anyways.
And Shane shouldn't be part of that conversation. I think so.
My gosh, Shane has a shirt that says, "I don't even know if I want to say what his shirt would say." He actually has one.
Does he really?
You want me to say what it is? I don't know if we should.
Say it. You have to say it.
I love Donald Trump's. Like, he is the biggest Donald Trump fan. And I asked him, I go, dude, why? He goes, yeah, because he's awesome. I go, but why? Because he's awesome. Who's done better than the 5th and the 47th president added together? Nobody. He's awesome. He has no reason why he's awesome. He just thinks he's awesome. But anyways, whatever. I digress. Go ahead. So let's do the U.S. team.
Before we digress,
Yeah.
whatever,
some
before that
gressing.
happens,
Yeah.
your imitation of Shane is spot on, by the way. Wonderful.
I've been
Wonderful
practicing. Practicing.
Years of practice.
Oh, yeah.
He's awesome.
He's awesome.
United States of America hockey team for the Four Nations Cup. On forward, Matt Boldy, Kyle Connor, Jack Eichel, Jake Gensel, who just approved our follow request on Instagram.
I love
by
Jake
the way.
Gensel now. Jake Gensel, it's fun to say that name. It's like elf.
It is
fun to say that
Gensel.
name. Jake Gensel. It's like tinsel.
Quality tinsel. Don't call him that to his face.
No. Jake Gensel's awesome. Number 59, number 1 in your heart. So good.
And replace Steven Stamkos. He's Steven Stamkos 2.0 in Tampa Bay.
Steven Stamkos is Eeyore, by the way. I just wanted to say that. We put Eeyore up with his picture and Steve Stamkos. Cool. Anyways, go ahead.
Right here?
Uh-huh. Look very similar. Oh, this tails fell off. There we go.
Jack Hughes, Chris Kreider, trade rumors. Chris Kreider, Dylan Larkin, JT Miller, Brock Nelson, Brady Tkachuk, Matthew Tkachuk, Vincent Trocheck, and potentially the greatest hockey player playing the game today. Potentially.
Your number 34?
AM 34, Austin Matthews.
So good.
Did you see that overtime winner by Austin Matthews? He decided in his head, game over, I'm going to go score this goal. First off, I'm going to beat you in an end-to-end race down the ice, and I'm going to bobble the puck while it's rolling on its side. The puck is like this. Yeah. It is not like this. It's like this. And what does he do? It doesn't matter.
Yep.
I'm the greatest goal scorer of the modern era. Goal, Leafs win. Yep. 2-1 overtime.
That was his 4th breakaway of that game, right? The first 2 he missed the net. The one he just, Markstrom barely got a piece of it. And then just swatted away like he was like the old Patrick Waugh days. And then Matthews went, not today, goalie, not today. Top shelf that close. That was ridiculous. It was so good. So good.
He was in tight. Like he was like talk about stick handling in a phone booth. Like, holy, he went. And how do you, man, I'd be in the NHL.
That's like James Van Riemsdyk used to that all. I don't know how he did that, right? But like Matthews does it going full speed and doing that. And like if you do that full speed, you would assume he's going to crash through the boards and almost like get killed. But no, unbelievable. Boom, pops her in, cuts off to the side, and then
riding him. He riding him like a horse.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then he went up to see whose mouthpiece from Montreal, the PK Subban was sitting in the stands, and he gave it to PK. It was so good. And they showed a shot from behind, and sure enough, Subban was there, and he knew Subban was there, and he went up to the mouth of the north, we'll call him, and he just gave him the gears. Austin did. It was so good, so dirty. Take that, PK. So
love
good.
That. Love it. Love every second of that. Defensemen Brock Faber, Adam Fox, Noah Hannafin, one of my favorites. Quinn Hughes, Charlie McAvoy, Jacob Slavin, and aforementioned Zach Werenski. In net, you've got maybe the goaltending duo of the tournament in Connor Hellebuck and Jake Ottinger, and then you have Jeremy Swayman as well. What a goaltender controversy. Who do you put in net? It's got to be Hellebuck, I think, but you got Swayman there too.
I think Alaska should be a Canadian province, so he should be Canadian.
I agree.
I think we should just do that. But yeah, those 3 goalies, wow. You're right. By far the best goaltending of the tournament. Unbelievable.
To my friend Kevin, who is up in Alaska, if you're watching this, Kevin, welcome to Canada. You do know Kevin, actually.
I do know.
I'm not going to say his last name just to protect the innocent, but you know him, and good dude. Poor choice in sports teams, but good dude.
Obviously, troubles there.
So what do you think? The U.S. has got a pretty big team. So if you look at Jack Hughes, the Tkachuk brothers, JT Miller, and obviously Austin Matthews, like there is some serious firepower on Team USA. Their defense is probably the only spot where I feel like maybe they can get pushed around. Like their defense isn't very big except for Werenski.
Like Faber, slightly Faber. And Werenski's having his career year, so he's picked the right year to do it. So if not, I would have said those 2 guys would have been the weak link. Faber and Werenski. Fox is having a terrible year. Like offensively, terrible. Defensively, he was always kind of suspect already. But you got Quinn Hughes on that team though, so that kind of supports that. But if you got 2 guys that can move the puck really fast out to Austin Matthews and the Tkachuk brothers, right? We know Brady's the better Tkachuk, but yeah.
How do you free up Austin Matthews? How do you free up who else?
With Tkachuk and Tkachuk. Yeah, there you go. That's tough. That's
Could you
tough.
imagine playing with a guy like two teams that you have to hate? Like Florida is a team that burned you in the playoffs twice. How do you
Hmm.
play with this guy? And or is it potential like, hey, this guy could be on our team? I'm trying to find Adam Fox plus minus here.
Oh, he's not good. Not good, buddy. I'm
You know,
telling you.
it's surprising. It's a surprising number. I was
Tell me.
expecting a different number, plus 3.
Okay. How
I was
many points
expecting
does he
like a
have?
minus 10.
Yeah,
20. What the? How many points do you think Adam Fox has right now? This is why he's on the team, by the way.
20.
25 points. He has
What?
1 goal and 24 assists.
The New York Rangers want to get rid of him. They say he's the worst player on the team. It's so bad. The defense is terrible. And he's a +3 and he's got 24 points. Okay, so something's going
I'll take
wrong.
him.
And yeah, okay, I'll take him.
Trade, on
Yep,
purpose.
on purpose, I'll take him.
Kyle Connor could be, and I don't know, like from an international stage or a best on best on best on best stage, because I'm calling it best on best on best on best, not
Yeah,
best on best, because there's
yeah,
4 teams.
yeah.
And let's talk about something just for a second here. Let's get into
Sure.
some controversy.
Okay.
Should it be a 4-team tournament or should it be a 6-team tournament?
It should totally be a 6-team
Because
tournament. I don't know what. Go ahead.
I don't know how you feel about Russia, but the guys who are playing hockey in Russia aren't causing all that shit overseas. They're not
Right.
the ones that
No.
caused any of this. And I understand penalizing the country and not letting people, whatever. But why? Like Russia's not in the best on best. I get it.
Mm-mm.
What's
They should
happening
be.
with Russia politically and
Yeah.
geopolitically is horrible. I get that. But why isn't there a Czechia team and a Russian team?
Yep. You know what they should do? I think, Rick, they should have actually a Russian team and then have a world team. You know what I mean? So, like,
Mm.
your Germany, folks from
Ger-
Germany,
You get Leon
Draisaitl,
Draisaitl. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
right? And people, Swiss players.
Yep.
You know, you get a bunch of different guys.
Italians.
Me, yeah, Italians, English, like a whole bunch of different things throughout the world. So if you have a world team,
Madagascarians.
oh my God, the Madagascarians! Wow, we forgot about that.
Is that how
They're so good.
Madagascar?
Koreans? I don't know. I
Are
think
they
we just made it up.
Madagascar-ish? I think we're making it up. Does that make it like New Zealandish?
Yeah, well, it's
Uh-huh.
off the east coast of Africa on the risk board, anyways. That's how I do my geography.
It's exactly where it is. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I also use Risk. My wife and my son have had a couple of epic Risk battles, by the way, up
I love
into the wee hours of like 9 p.m. in the evening, and just total world domination. My wife is whatever reason is like the Risk master. Also, if you ever want to lose at Battleship, play
Yeah.
Battleship with my wife. Oh my God,
Okay.
she just kills me every single time. I could have no ships on the board and she'd still beat me. It's ridiculous.
I love Risk. We played Risk all the time at the cottage.
Love
And
Risk.
oh my God, it was so good. When a rainy day and there was no TV and
Yeah.
yeah, what a great game. And I liked it when they came out with missions. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times you could play for 7 to 8 hours if you play World Domination. But if you play missions, you can pull up a mission and stuff like that, and that can speed the game up for you. So I did like that little extra add-on that they did there. Have you ever played missions?
Never played missions,
Okay.
but I love talking about etiquette. So Risk etiquette. You're
Mm.
4 hours into the game, and you've
Yes.
got one person has 1 captured area, and somebody else has 97 captured areas.
Yes.
I think the etiquette of the person who has 1 captured area, the etiquette is stand up, flip the board over. That's the etiquette.
Totally.
Move on.
Yeah. We had a Risk game actually going at the cottage. My dad and his 3 buddies were playing, and it started off at 12 o'clock on a Saturday, and they played 12 o'clock right through to like 1 in the morning. Next day they woke up, they started playing again, and they were eating breakfast while they're playing. One of the wives went up and said, "Not today, boys," and she flipped the board, and they picked her up and walked her down the rocks, down to the water, and introduced her to the cold water and threw
went
her
swimming.
in. Oh yeah, she went swimming. Oh yeah, that happened.
There's 2 games where you're going to lose friends, and game number 1 is Risk. Game number 2, Monopoly. You're losing friends. People are crying.
Oh yeah, for sure. Crying everywhere. Okay, so yeah, USA. Wow, that
I think
is a
USA
powerhouse team.
It's a big
Powerhouse, like,
team.
yeah,
That's going to be a tough one to beat. And because I'm a homer, I'm not going to say that the United States is going to win. But when you've got Austin Matthews and Quinn Hughes and Matthew Tkachuk and Jake Gensel, and you've got Connor Hellebuck on the team.
I thought that Kyle Connor was Swedish for some reason. Not obviously because of his name.
He's
'Cause it was
Swedish
lucky.
American.
Is he really?
No, I don't. He's not.
He's Swedish American, Jason.
Let me.
Don't you know? That's awesome.
Now coming to you from Sweden.
Well, hey,
Nope.
this Mr.
Let's talk
Nylander was
about.
born in Calgary, eh?
That's right. Yeah,
William Nylander was born in Calgary. Why can't he play for Team Canada?
he could,
Huh?
but he's not going to.
Okay.
Let's talk about. There's a couple people missing off this roster, and some people that I thought would be on here. The
Okay.
first of which is Tage Thompson. Where is
Yeah,
Tage
yeah.
Thompson on this? And I'm looking at names that I would replace, like Brock Nelson, not on my team. Dylan
No.
Larkin, not on my team. Chris
No.
Kreider, not on my team.
Soft.
Matt Boldy.
No.
Matt Boldy's probably on my team. He's been having a hell of a year. But I think Tage Thompson slots in there
Oh, for sure.
somewhere along the way.
Clayton Keller.
Also, Clayton Keller. Where's Clayton? Or Cole Caulfield?
Caulfield's
Where's
like
Cole
lighting it up.
Caulfield?
He's having his best year ever. Why would you not want this speedy little guy on that team, man?
And look, the guy's got international experience. Like he,
Oh, yeah.
it's not like he hasn't played in the World Juniors. It's not like he hasn't played on the big ice. Where is so of the three of those, Tage Thompson, Cole Caulfield, Clayton Keller, those are the kind of three big notable names that aren't on that Team USA team. Which one stands out most to you?
I'd say Caulfield for sure. I mean, Clayton
Right.
Keller would help them win, probably more like defensively, more well-rounded player, but I can't believe Caulfield's not on that team. Like, wow.
Me either.
Like Matt Boldy, like, okay, Minnesota's having their best year ever too, but Matt Boldy, like, he's as good as his name. He's Matt Boldy. Like, you know what I mean? He's like, meh. You know what I mean? Meh.
Vincent, what about Trocheck? Like you've got Trocheck on the team instead of Tage Thompson. So you've got a younger, slightly faster, better hand version in Tage Thompson.
And bigger and longer too, you know what I mean? And face-offs. Oh, yeah.
In front of the net, like look at that big in front of the net presence. What do you like? Okay, hey, and maybe that's the reason why USA in my books is number 2.
Okay, let's
Number
hear that.
1,
Team Canada.
The first team, Team Canada. Here we go. Oh, Canada. Sam Bennett, Anthony Cirelli, Sidney Crosby, old Brandon Hagel, Seth Jarvis, Travis Konechny.
Oh my gosh. Okay, wait. If I were to guess, and if you didn't know this, even before you get into any other players, is the coach of Team Canada the coach of Tampa Bay? Because how is Hagel on this team? Come on.
Brandon Hagel.
Whatever. Like Hagel, this guy. He's a good little player, but there's other guys that should, like Adam Lowry or Hagel.
Dude.
Come on.
Give me Adam Lowry all day long.
Yes.
Connor Bedard.
Connor Bedard, yes, seriously.
All day long.
Connor Bedard.
Where is Connor Bedard or Adam Lowry?
Yeah, Connor Bedard. His name's awesome. Say Connor Bedard. So
Connor
good.
Bedard.
Connor Bedard. Fridays at 3. Connor
Obviously.
Bedard. But yeah, like, come on, this guy, like, seriously. Okay. Sorry, yeah, so the coach of the Tampa Bay, keep going.
John Cooper.
Johnny
had
Cooper.
No hand whatsoever in that roster.
Yeah, I find that hard to believe. Keep going.
Moving right on. Seth Jarvis, Travis Konechny, also one of the most difficult names to say in
Travis Konechny. Yeah,
Travis Konechny. It sounds like Schenectady. Yeah.
Yes, New York.
Puxatawny Pete. What's that? Was there a Schenectady Steve or something like that? I don't know. Is that a thing? I just made that up, but it might be a thing. Schenectady Steve. All right. Nathan McKinnon. He's pretty good at hockey.
Oh, yeah.
A dude that I hate on every other team except for Team Canada, Brad Marchand.
Oh, yes.
Number 16 in your shirt. Number 16 in your shirt. Also on the back of your shirt, but number maybe 3 in your heart if you're a Toronto Maple Leafs fan. Mitchell H. Marner. I don't know if it's an H. I don't know.
It is now.
Is it an H? It might be
Mitchell Hubert Marner.
Yep. Connor McJesus. Nope. They spelled that wrong. Connor McDavid. Another Tampa Bay Lightning. Braden Point.
Come on.
Sam Reinhart from the Florida Panthers. What is going on with Sam Reinhart, by the way?
How did he learn how to score like that? Like, come on. He was didn't he play for, we should also talk about players that played for Buffalo, that left Buffalo and became amazing. Like, okay, so.
Right.
You had Sam Reinhart. You had Eichel. Eichel was really good on that team. Go, do.
Eichel is all very good, but he's on the other team with the Stars. And
correct.
Last forward for Team Canada is Mark Stone.
Mark
Stone.
Duh. Yeah. Fridays. Okay. Come on, this guy plays 14 games a year, and he's going to play on this team. They should rest him. Las Vegas, rest this guy.
He's scored some goals this year. He started off hot, but again, he's an older guy. Defense. So here is maybe one of my favorite parts of this team. Cale Makar, Josh Morrissey, Colton Perriaco, Alex Pietrangelo, Travis Sanheim, Shea Theodore, Devin Tays. Love that decor. Also, Colton Periaco. He's like 19 feet tall. How
Yeah, he's
tall is
6'74". Yeah, 6'74".
6 foot?
Okay.
He is definitely 6'74".
Yeah, his shot is crazy, but come on. Okay, I know we're homers, buddy, but Morgan Rielly's better than three of those defensemen, like for sure. And just because he's been playing sheltered minutes this year because we're playing smart and he's keyed up some different players, he's better than three of those guys all day long. Like Colton Parayko, come on. People are going to dance
Travis
around this
Sanheim.
guy. Yeah, Sanheim, come on. Really?
So Riley is definitely missing off that lineup and international experience. Like he's been to the game, to the show. He's been juniors and Team Canada. Like where is
Yep.
Morgan Riley? Again,
Yep.
we're homers, so we kind of
Yep.
we're rooting for our guys. But come on, really?
And
Morgan Riley's
Johnny
not on this
T,
team.
Johnny
Where
T's
is-
the best face-off guy on that whole team, and he's not even on the team. And guess what's important in these tournaments? Face-off, starting with the puck. Johnny
And
T's
look
like
at the
50
year.
Yeah.
Look at the year
He's having a
Tavares
great
is
year.
having.
What did he say? Was he pissed? Did he say? Did he go, listen?
He was over here the other night. We were braiding each other's hair, and he was upset. And I thought, you know what, we're gonna braid John's hair just to make him feel better. And
For
he likes that. He likes when we got the fireplace on. We got some Michael Bublé playing.
Yeah.
You know, you've been to one of our parties.
Sure, I was there.
So
yeah.
he was upset. Yeah, and I get it. You know, I'm trying to console him, but you know, he's happy they're gonna go on vacation, take a couple of days off, go down to Cancun. You know,
do the thing.
we were going to go with well, we were going to go with him, but
did he break the glass in the fireplace? Did he just chuck
in the fireplace? He's so mad.
I knew he was mad. I knew he was mad because you want to know why? He goes like this, John, are you mad? He's like, no, I'm fine, thank you. He doesn't say anything, right? I'm like, come on. No. When John Tavares finally flips out in the playoffs, you know what's going to happen? Okay, wait. Here, picture this. Who's going to hold the cup first? I know Matthews is going to because he's the captain.
Matthews gets it.
But
it goes right to Tavares.
Yeah, obviously. For sure. Tavares is going to pick it up, and he's going to go just whatever team we beat, he's going to go punch them in the face with the cup. He's going to be so this guy, man. He's got so much pent up energy. It's all harnessed inside this guy. He's going to go crazy. I love it, man. I love it. He should be on the team. That's bull.
100% he should be on the team. I want to give you, because I know John so well, I'm going to give you this is John's happy face. And if you're listening to us in the podcast and not watching, I'm sorry for those who are listening. And I'll tell you about this in 1 second. So this is John's happy face.
Perfect.
This is John's mad face.
Wildly similar.
For those of you who are listening, nothing happened. It's the same face.
And we should, for those listening, Rick's shirt, sweater, I mean, can't do justice. You need to see this thing. This Grinch thing is incredible. It's incredible. And then why we're talking about cowbell, I'm wearing Christmas a cowbell hat. Oh, yeah. Fantastic. So
Jay's hat says more cowbell. I've got on maybe the most hideous Grinch Christmas sweater. It is ridiculous.
God, that's got what's the girl in her head spins around and she pukes green pea soup. Yeah. That's the color, dude. Yeah, Reagan. Yeah, she just puked all over you.
From The Shining? Not The Shining.
Not The Shining.
No. Goalies for Team Canada. I don't even want to talk about the goalies for Team Canada.
The goalies are terrible.
We're going to put a chair and some caution tape in the net.
That's instead of Can we just turn the net down? Yeah, turn the net down.
Yeah, fold it over. Yeah. We're going to go with 6 skaters. So Jordan Bennington, Aiden Hill, and Sam Montembeau from the Montreal toilet seats. You notice how the the Montreal Canadiens logo looks like a toilet seat?
It is a toilet seat. Yeah, it does. It's perfect.
And in the middle, it looks like a poo.
Yeah, big poop.
That's exactly what I think about the Montreal Canadiens, by the way.
If Mr. Bennington gets on a roll, and he's got good defense around him, and we don't play in our end, we got a chance. He won a Stanley Cup in 2019.
He did. Hey, absolutely.
2019 in that area, right? Yeah.
He definitely won a Stanley Cup 5 years ago.
No, he's done it before. Hey, my kid plays goal. What's the age limit on this tournament?
Is he available? Is he free?
He's available. Well, I can make him available. It's fine.
Yeah. So what nationality is Joseph Wall?
He's American, man.
Okay, I don't want to talk about that anymore. What's Stolarz? Is Stolarz American?
He is, too. He's from just outside of New Jersey. And that's why he was very happy to play that game. You know what I mean? And then he got pulled after the first, which I was like, come on, we don't need this now. But it looks like it's a day-to-day injury. But do you want to talk a little bit about? Well, let's finish up with the Four Nations. So we think Canada's going to win as long as they don't play in our zone. There you go.
I think as long as Canada only plays on the offensive half of the ice, then again you've got good firepower, not great firepower. Obviously, we're missing a few players in this team that should be on the team. Adam Lowry, Connor Bedard, but you've got some absolute horses on this team. So if you think of having Connor McDavid and Nathan McKinnon, Sidney Crosby, Mitch Marner, Sam Reinhart, like you've got some serious firepower. Now, the rumor is that they're going to put the East Coast line together. So it's going to be, that's the rumor.
Marchand, Crosby,
McKinnon.
and McKinnon.
And that's a line now.
McKinnon's almost as fast as McJesus, dude. So, I mean, if you put those two guys together with Marner, that would be ridiculous.
He is an animal. Like, have you seen this guy go end to end whenever he wants? So you've got Connor McDavid, who, again, arguably the best hockey player in the league. He's obviously the centering your top line with who? Is it Reinhart Marner? Is that the line? Like, that's a killer line.
Yeah, that's a probably good one because Marner's shooting now, which is good because McDavid doesn't shoot a lot, right? And Reinhart does. So Reinhart shooting with Marner shooting. Marner, man, like, wow, I don't know. That's just it's so tough, right?
Or do you put Marner, like, does Marner land with Crosby and who? Like, could you imagine Marner and Crosby, and that's a prelude to what that could and Crosby takes a trade to Toronto.
He should.
Marner and Crosby together. It's like Tavares and Marner together, but obviously Crosby is who he is.
Maybe we have him to Canada.
Your SUV will hardly get stolen.
Yeah, right. And Pittsburgh's known as, the Steelers, Steel City in there. We've got Hamilton that's really close to Toronto. Steel. We'll make it feel at home, right? So just come on home. Come to Ontario. I like
where you're at. Also, if you are a former owner of a company called RIM and you want to own a hockey team in Hamilton, I have some advice for you.
Yeah, don't do it.
Is that the biggest NHL debacle of all time? It's like
the
biggest ownership debacle of all time.
Yeah.
What was his name?
He thought he was going to push all in. He was going to push Gary Bettman around, and Gary went, "Not today, sir."
What was his name?
Oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember him now. It'll come to me.
I'm not Googling it right now.
Obviously, you're totally not Googling it. Give me initials. Give me initials.
Jim Balsillie?
JB?
No.
Jim Balsillie.
Was it Jim Balsillie?
Yeah. That's a fun name to say, too, eh?
Jim Balsillie.
Yeah, so Jim was Balsillie. That was just...
That's a silly.
He tried to do an end around on Gary Bettman. He saw him coming around, and he's like, you're not taking Australia on me because that's the standpoint and risk. If you take Australia, you can start building those armies, and Gary Bettman already had Australia, Jimmy. Sorry.
And you are not moving the team from Pittsburgh into Hamilton, and that's just not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
Screw you.
Nope.
Right.
Do you want to talk about the Toronto-New Jersey game? Because there was, or did you want to talk about? We can talk about that and then go to injustices.
So I got one last thing, which is where do you have Canada finishing?
My God. I mean, the U.S. team is just so good. It's crazy. If we had similar goaltending, I would say that we would have a slight edge, but I have a problem being a homer, so I'm picking Canada anyway, so I don't care. That's why I don't bet.
That's right. Yeah, I'm definitely picking Canada as the winning team and potentially the first runner-up. Maybe.
Yeah, me too. It's going to be close.
It's going to be too close.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the Leafs and that jersey. We played New Jersey the other day. So we haven't talked since the Leafs played the Lightning.
Right.
And again, Timmins looked like, I want to talk about Timmins a little bit later, or maybe we'll get to it in another pod, but just loving the way he's playing. That Jersey game, 2-1 in overtime, Matthews is putting on a show with the last 30 seconds of the game. Like, man, this guy's amazing. Amazing.
Well, he is, and New Jersey's super smart because they're doing something behind the scenes that is getting into the heads of other teams. And I went back just to check a couple different games to see if I could verify it or if I thought it was just, a conspiracy theory. But I went and watched that game. So after one period, they said shots for New Jersey 15, shots for Toronto 1. I went and counted. It was actually Toronto had 5 extra shots. So Toronto had 6 shots. Not a lot of shots, but they still had 6. And I'll tell you right now, New Jersey had 13. Okay, so it's 13-6, not 15-1. But then the players, they're getting in their head because they're asking Matthews, like, how did that first period go in between the intermissions? He goes, well, I guess we just had, like, the one shot that was at the net. And so he's starting to talk about it. So then I watched the second period, same thing. They missed 4 shots that the Leafs had. Like, the announcer goes, oh, what a save by the goaltender. He saved the guy called it. The play-by-play guy said, "What a save!" 4 times, and I'm watching the shot clock. Nope, nothing. And then all of a sudden they gave one to New Jersey. I'm like, what is going on here? So New Jersey's playing smart, and the refs aren't necessarily doing it, but the scoreboard people or whoever keeps the shots in that arena there, they're doing something. And they played another team. Oh my gosh, I can't remember who it was. They played them last night. The same thing. They had only 10 shots on net through almost full 3 periods. Who did Jersey play last night? I'm
I'll
trying to
tell you
remember who
one
it was.
second.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll
cool.
tell you.
And
I'm
they
gonna
used to
pull
do
it out right out of the top of my head because I'm not checking
obviously.
on a website right now.
Yeah, no. Why would you? And they did the same thing back in the late
Los Angeles
80s.
Kings.
The Kings, and if you look at the shots on net, I think the Kings had like 12 shots on net for the whole game or something silly, right? And then you're like, what? And I went back and I saw the Utah game. Same thing. So something smells in New Jersey, and it's not the river that run near it. It
It's
is
not
the
the
shots
beach.
on net. It's
What's
not
the
the
beach in
beach.
New Jersey? What is it? What's that beach?
Jersey Shores,
Beach.
man.
Jersey Shore. That's it. Yeah.
There we go. Gabs here. There you go.
Where's
That
the
was for
box?
Lisa.
Where's the
So that
box
was it.
score here?
Yeah, take a look at the shots on it. It was crazy.
20 block shots by LA last night.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And the other thing is, so New Jersey, I think New Jersey's playing a good game, but I'm telling you, they're playing smart, man. They're getting in the heads of the other teams, and they're manufacturing and taking away shots. So I know that if you were on a betting forum and you went through and you were betting and they said you only had one shot, but you actually had five, that could potentially be some problems.
So
Mike
I'm going to
Johnson,
share.
go ahead.
I've got a beef. So this, my memory is not so great right now. So I'm using the old interwebs here to find out how many shots were on goal. Oh, there it is, right there. Stupid. I was gonna say something very derogatory about a website that rhymes with Smortsnet, but there it is, right on the very top of the screen. Shots on net. So put my glasses on next time.
There you go.
The New Jersey Devils had 26 shots on net, and the Los Angeles Kings had 13.
Come on, 13. And Toronto, I mean, look at the night before, like with Toronto, the same sort of thing. So if you go back and check home games for New Jersey, inflated shots for and deflated again. Now that's just
why would they do that?
Well, because I think it gets in the other players' heads and they're not getting to the net and they feel like they're blocking shots or something. But the thing that it does, it really messes with their goaltender stats because dude's save percentage was like, say, 882 because we scored 2 goals on like one shot. Like it was just terrible. I'm like, come on. Do it right. Someone's got to keep track of the shots so it's accurate. I know they go back and they watch it, but it's terrible.
We definitely, and you and I have been talking about injustices this year and officiating injustices, and it's not just on ice officiating. Like now, obviously there's an official scorer who would keep track of that, and if you're in Jersey, I guess it's the same guy every time New Jersey plays. So are they trying to inflate the goal? Like, are they trying to inflate Markstrom's save percentage stats? Like, is that the conspiracy theory here?
But they're going the wrong way. They're going the wrong way because what happens is.
But are they also tracking more shots for Jersey than are actually happening? So that's going to inflate his save percentage, right?
Yeah, yeah. So that's it's totally happening, and it's getting the players' heads because like I'm saying, in between periods, they see the stats, right? And they had an interview with Matthews. Yeah,
there's somebody knocking at my door right now that wants to talk to me outside about adjusting Jersey shots and how it's affecting betting, and they don't look very happy. I think I'll be right back. I'm gonna wait. No, I'm gonna stay inside. I'll wait here.
Okay.
Yeah,
dude, injustices. I think you and I talked about it. We need to talk about injustices. So earlier last pod, Rick told me about crazy call in overtime against Calgary. Crazy. They got called for too many men on the ice. So
Rule 72.
Rule 72. And so in Toronto against New Jersey's coming down with the puck. They're in their own blue line, in their own zone, and they're coming out. 2 guys are there. The one guy's about to get off on the bench, and the other guy's on the far side. He jumps on to almost where the blue line is. So all 4 players are on the ice for 4 seconds while they had the puck. And then they came up, and I'm like, what is going on? And I took a screenshot, and I sent it to Rick because I knew that would just make him very, very happy. It was ridiculous. Now, they didn't score, obviously, but they let most teams in overtime because it's a free-flowing thing. And as long as they're not, it's not the outcome of or a goal or something that's happened. But I'm like, come on, man. It was ridiculous. The refs, and by the way, before we start feeling sorry for these refs, do you know how much money they make? So linesmen make between $125,000 and $200,000 a year, American, linesmen, and referees make from anywhere from $200,000 to $500,000 a year.
What?
Yeah, so they can afford glasses, dude. Come on. Oh, yeah.
$500,000 to screw up
Check it.
half the calls of the game.
Check it. Yeah. Well, no wonder they want to drop the puck so many times. I think they get
Entry-level
bonuses on
referees.
puck drops. Bonuses,
Yeah.
puck drops.
Or
Puck
fake
drops.
outs.
Yeah.
It's like entry-level referees can earn around $220,000 per year, while those with over 16 years experience can make up to $482,220. What the
I told you, dude, right? Look at the
And they
money.
can earn $27,000 per round in the playoffs if they play in the playoffs.
Yeah. So if they're
Dude,
good
I
ref,
could skate around for 60 minutes and make half the calls wrong.
yeah, for sure. I can make them all wrong too. It's like the referees are the weathermen of the NHL. They're always wrong, and it doesn't matter.
Oh
Like,
my
come
God.
on, right? Unbelievable, unbelievable.
I just hate Gary Bettman even more.
Want to talk about standings? Or
I do want to talk about standings, and
Okay.
today is Friday the 13th,
Friday 13th.
of December. I'm just going to say the dates like that now,
Yeah.
on purpose.
On purpose. Oh my
Today is the
gosh.
24th of 13 December,
Mace.
and your Toronto Maple Leafs are certain. I'm going to be all right.
They're certainly sitting. Fridays at 3.
This is water. Like this, there's nothing in here except water. Toronto Maple Leafs sitting in first place in the Atlantic,
Nice.
which is good. Now they're going back and forth, so it's 38 points for Toronto, 38 points for Florida. But Toronto's got a game in hand, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yep, beautiful. And they're up against Detroit next. Now Florida plays Calgary next. Both those games should be wins for both those teams.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
Buffalo. We got Buffalo on the Sunday at 5.
We got Detroit tomorrow, right? Detroit.
Yeah.
Detroit.
Yeah.
Detroit.
We got Detroit on Saturday, and then Sunday we have Buffalo.
Right. So
Yeah.
both those games should be wins.
Should be.
First in the Metro is the Washington Capitals.
I didn't even pick them to make the playoffs. I thought they were falling off. They were crazy. They picked up.
No Ovechkin.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're playing good as a team. They're playing a good team game. Rasmus Sandin,
Darling.
what's going on there?
Sandin.
He's like a plus
So
21.
I think he's
I don't know.
what do they played 28 games and he's a plus 207.
Yeah, it's silly. It's unbelievable.
So
don't
let's
know how
talk
they're doing it.
controversy. Let's talk controversy here.
Let's do it.
Alexander Ovechkin not in the lineup. Washington's on a tear. Austin Matthews not in the lineup. Toronto goes on a tear. Is these superstars, obviously these two are elite, the elite of the elite goal scorers, and you've got two teams who are sitting in first place with significant absences of these elite goal scorers.
So
What?
I think what happens is a lot of times these guys, they're set up for success. They feed these guys the puck. They look for them. Like
Sure.
for example, my son's the only kid on his team. My son's just turned 12. He's the only kid on the team
He's
that
the only kid
passes
on
the
his team?
puck. He's the only one that passes, right? Like literally.
Yeah.
And I just say to him, I go, buddy, sometimes you got to be selfish out there. Like if you're going down the ice and it's you and there's another guy there and you have an equal opportunity to take the shot, then you take the shot if you got the puck. If he's open or you draw guys to yourself, then pass it over, right? So I think that's what's happening with these superstars. They have the equal opportunity shot to take, but they pass it over to that superstar because maybe they have a better shot, like an overall actual shot. And so
Sure.
they get fed these and they make plays and power plays and setups just for them. But it takes away from the team game when you do that, when you're just feeding one guy. Maybe that's why.
It does, and look at how the teams played when Matthews wasn't there, and Nylander and Mitchie and JT step up. Obviously those guys are there, but without the pressure of having to feed Matthews, I think there's a pressure that where you have to go to this guy, you have to go to the goal scorer, and then all of a sudden you got three guys who are lighting the net up. Anyways, I digress because I'm going to move over to the Western Conference in the Central
Okay.
Division. The number one team in the NHL, again, as of Friday the 13th, is the Winnipeg Jets.
But how many losses do they have now? The first time we had this conversation, they had one loss. They were 15-1-0. And
Yep.
what are they now?
So I'm going to just indulge me here. So
Okay.
a loss is a loss.
Right.
I don't like to lose. The loser point is I don't like the loser point.
Yeah.
I think
I'm
you
with
get rid of that.
Yeah.
So they're 21-10. In
Okay.
the score sheet, it says 21-9-1 with 43 points. They've played 31 games. Now, Minnesota has played 29 games, 19-6-4 with 42 points. 2 games in hand, Minnesota's down by 1 point. I think Minnesota's got a chance to go back into that top spot in the NHL.
Mhm.
They're playing amazingly well. I don't know what's in the water in Minnesota, but Kaprizov is on an absolute tear. Matt
Mm-hmm.
Boldy's going off at a point per game rate. Marco Rossi, this 23-year-old center, I think he just scored his 9th goal the other day. Like
Yeah.
this kid, and he was a trade rumor for a while. The
Yeah, he
guy's
was.
now got his 9th or 10th goal. He's on. They've got 7 guys in the Minnesota Wild on pace to score 20 or more goals. 7 guys.
All career years. And the funny thing is, Kaprizov, who would be playing for Team Russia, correct?
Correct.
He's not even going to be there. This guy, who's top 5 right now in the league of scoring, he's not even going to be in the Four Nations Cup. That's sad. But and Minnesota also is $15 million in the hole for the salary cap because they did those buyouts for Suter and the other guy from Minnesota who was with New Jersey, played for New
Suter
Jersey,
and
played for Jersey forever, and then he went to Minnesota because he's from Minnesota. He's a winger. No. I can't remember his name right now. It's not Pierce Cora, but it might as well be. Like, Pierce Cora played for New Jersey for like 42 years, I think. The guy was unbelievable.
I think he definitely played for that. Zach Parise.
That's it, Parise.
Why couldn't I think
Right?
of that
So, yeah, Zach Parise, and so they've got $15 million less to spend to the cap than everybody else because they did those buyouts. And Bill Guerin said, I don't care. I'm going to eat it. And he did. And I think they got 2 more years left of it. Like this year and maybe 1 more year.
Kaprizov's got 18 goals on the year, 43 points. He's in 5th position. He's got the 5th most goal. So Leon's got 21, leading the league.
Yeah.
Sam Reinhart and Braden Point have 19, and then Mikko Rantanen, Kaprizov, and Willie Nylander from your Toronto Maple Leafs all have 18.
Willie Nylander's crying a little bit, just so you know. They interviewed him after the game. When they put his brother on waivers back down to the AHL, he was angry, man. Angry sharks were swimming. They didn't give him a chance. They didn't put him on the top 2 lines. Like they had him on the 3rd, 4th line. He was playing 8 minutes a night, and
I'm
really
gonna go over
wasn't
here.
given a shot.
I'm going to reach off screen and I'm going to grab this crow, and now I'm going to eat some crow because Alex Nylander performed pretty damn well. It was good to watch him play. It was fun to watch him play. I had no problem with him being on that team. He was on the team when they were winning without Matthews. He put on a good performance and completely changed my opinion of the guy. My opinion previously was not a chance. Nope, he's going to stay down there. He belongs in the A. No, he belongs in the show. And on 15 teams, he's on their team. Toronto's just so good that he's not on the team today. Impressed with him. Love to see him up there. I want to see him back. It was good. Just he seems responsible with the puck. Obviously not as skilled as his brother, but responsible. Responsible with the puck like Timmins. Timmins has been so responsible with that puck lately. Sure. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the standings. And we'll go back to the standings. And I love in the NFL when you have a team that goes over. I love a good over story. It's amazing. So, Vegas top spots in the Pacific with 41 points. So you've got a couple of teams that are really going off. Washington and New Jersey, Winnipeg, Minnesota, Toronto, Florida, Vegas, LA. So you've got these, and I put LA in there because they're second in the Pacific. I don't know if I'd say if LA was going off, but who's creeping up that standings quickly in the Pacific is the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah, they are.
And who's going this way quickly in the standings is the Calgary Flames. They are.
Well, they're only 2 points out, but they're crashing and burning.
Crashing back to earth, and a tough couple of games coming up against Florida. Anyways, if you were to say Stanley Cup quarterfinals today, so you're to pick the final 4 team in the playoffs today, starting right now, who do you put in the final 4? So who is East? Who is West? The 2-on-2. What does that look like for you?
Okay, so man, that's tough. I think I watch all those teams play because we're talking about it more on a weekly basis just to kind of see what everybody's doing. Florida is crazy. Florida and Toronto they're just playing above their heads, and they got Toronto's goaltending is really solidified where they're going to be. Toronto's played without I don't think they've played with a full lineup. Patrick already scored 2 goals. The other night, my God, Bobby McMahon, who's been out. But so I think that Toronto and Florida are the class. Washington, they're going to fall off a cliff. They totally are.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? But they're playing really well. They're playing really well. Kudos to them. And Spencer Carberry there.
You can't compete with Jersey and Carolina. Like Jersey and Carolina are going to finish 1-2 in some kind of order.
Yeah, they're going to beat up on Washington and Jersey. Man, they're so fast, but their defense is meh. You know what I mean? And Markstrom's pretty good, but their defense not really great or deep. they're not really defensive.
Well, that's
So
the difference, right? That's what gave them. That's what's put them where they are. Is they have a goalie now.
right.
That's the major difference. Is the fact that they've got Jacob Markstrom in net. That means all the world to them. And look at where they are. They're knocking on the door in first place now. Mind you, Washington's played 28 games. Jersey's played 32 games. So
Right.
Washington has 4 games more to play. But I still think you're right. You're gonna have 2 teams beating up on Washington, and yeah.
Look at the defense for New Jersey. Okay,
Yeah.
so who's your
I don't want to.
defensive defenseman there? Like Hamilton's not a defensive defenseman.
No. Offense
Okay,
all day long.
Hughes, the youngest
Offense.
Hughes brother, is
But he's-
offense.
But he's having he's not having a good. He's not having a terrible year. He's not
He's
having a
like-
great year.
Yeah, like he's okay, but look at the rest of them. There's who's there as a defensive defenseman? Like I don't know. They had a couple and they got rid of them.
You want to tell
So
you?
I don't know what they're doing, but and in the West, I don't know the West, man. Like Las Vegas isn't that great a team. They're really not. Like
They're not.
their goaltending is Aiden Hill, right? Who we're kind of like going, he's making Team Canada. And then you got Mark Stone and Eichel, right? I'm like, okay, that's those are the guys. They're the horses on that team. So and they don't impress me much.
So I'm
Already
looking
said
at the
that once.
roster that don't impress you much, Shania.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm
Who's
looking at the
defense?
so I couldn't tell you who's really playing on this team other than Brandon Dillon.
Right, and Dylan they got from Winnipeg.
Right.
And this guy, he's a dirty player. Wow,
Yeah.
man! Behind the scenes, you turn and you feel like a punch in the back of your ribs. That's from Dylan. He's dirty. I watch this guy. I'd love to have him on my team, man. You don't even know. All of a sudden, you're like, oh, you're going down. You got like a butt end. You know that old butt. Oh yeah. He's dirty.
Yeah.
He'll hit the. And then they've got this guy Siegenthaler, I think his name is.
Yeah.
His name's like this long.
Yeah.
He's playing really well for them. And then,
Curves
like,
around his jersey.
yeah, for sure. It goes down to his left arm, right? And then there's a couple other guys, but their defense is like, okay. So that's why I don't think New Jersey's going to go. And then Carolina's offense, I mean, you'd have to combine both those two teams to get a team.
Yeah.
Right? They lost
So-
2 guys.
Who's your East final? Give me your East final.
So it's Florida-Toronto.
In the East final. Okay. And who's your West final?
West final is Edmonton's going to creep up. They're going to sneak right in there
I
like they
agree.
always do. They're a good team. You know, you can't hold them down.
They're on a
And then-
4-game meter.
Yeah, they totally are. And then you might get maybe Minnesota sneaks in there. I don't know. Like you don't really hear much about Dallas anymore. Like Dallas is kind of like fading away. You know, the Jamie Benns of the world and they're becoming an older team, you know. So I don't see them there. So maybe it's Minnesota versus Edmonton, Florida versus Toronto, and we see Edmonton versus Toronto in the final. And here's a fun stat on that quickly.
Yep.
We always talk about, you know, when's the last time a Canadian team has won the Stanley Cup? When you just look at the numbers straight out, just so you guys know, math. Okay, there's 32 teams. There's 7 Canadian teams. We only have a 21.875% chance of winning the cup every year. That's why we haven't won in a long time. It's almost 80% of the chance that it's going to be an American team because there's way more American teams. So math. There you go. That's why you haven't.
But
That's
look
not because. Go ahead.
Look how many Canadians are on the team. Like, look how many Canadians are on all the teams, right? It's 50. It's just under 50% now, right?
Yeah. It used to be 75, and now it's just over. I think it's like 51% or something like that are Canadian now. But yeah, the world's definitely stepping up and playing a lot more. And I mean, Rick and I kind of talked a little bit about this when I was playing hockey. I was cleaning out some stuff, and I found a little hockey pamphlet when I was 8 years old playing hockey. So in the Kiwanis League, where I played in the Niagara area, teams ages 8 through 10, there was 28 teams. Currently now, there's 4. So
Wow.
What's happening in Canada? Are we diversifying and playing other sports? Are we not playing as much hockey? Like, what's happening? Like, I don't know. And then the rest of the world they're playing a whole ton of hockey. And I bet you if you go into the U.S. now, those numbers are inverted, where there was 4 teams in the U.S. now there's 16, right? So I don't know what's happening. If anybody knows, please let us know. But I don't know. I'm going to dig into that. There's some stuff that's definitely going on.
My youngest guy is not old enough to play hockey just yet, but he's in skating lessons. And the skating lessons that they have, packed, full, and they're back-to-back with the lessons. So there's definitely a lot of kids out there. Mind you, the skating lessons being packed is also like 3 teams. Like it's not
Right.
like, and we go public skating and stuff like that, and there's a lot of public skaters out there, and there's a lot of kids in uniforms there, like they're wearing their team sweaters and stuff. So
Hmm.
it's still happening. I just don't know. Maybe there's more rinks, or maybe it's they're kind of they're holding on to boundaries a bit better. I don't know. It's
I don't
anyways.
know,
It's
but like I said, in Kiwanis, like here in St. Catharines, there were 28 teams. Now there's 4, right? And that wasn't
wow.
including the 2 other leagues that were here. There was a league called Spartan Hockey Association and CYO, and they had numerous teams as well. So it wasn't just 28. There could have been like 40 plus teams in the area. Now combined, there's like 12, right? So it's dropped dramatically.
Well,
Who knows?
get your kids signed up. Get your kids signed up for hockey.
Mhm.
If you want to watch a really good YouTube channel, there's this guy. It's called I Train Hockey, and he's got a great like bunch of YouTube shorts, bunch of YouTube channels. The videos are fantastic. My nephew, who had a couple things to say on the pod a couple weeks ago, my nephew he's done a like a big change in what he loves to do. So he's got a sport he loves to participate in, and he's switched from that sport to being like, I just want to play hockey. That's all I
Nice.
want to do is play hockey, and I want to do it right now. And it's exciting that he wants to do that. And I have told him, like, I sent his mom this link to this guy's channel. I Train Hockey, and he trains so much. He trains shot fundamentals, skating,
Hmm.
like how to move your body when you skate, and how to finish your stride. There's so many good things on I Train Hockey. Again, no partnership. We're not, no sponsorship, nothing. Just a really great channel. If you get a chance and you're a hockey fan and you want to see some really amazing hockey training videos, it's called I Train Hockey. And this guy, the lessons he teaches are spectacular. And if you had a chance to, hey, we'd love to hear from you.
I've seen
If
it.
you've been to his training, tell us about it. We'd love to hear
Mhm.
about it. And that's definitely somebody who needs to come on the podcast. Is this guy who does this I Train Hockey, and he runs this program. So if you know him and he wants to come on the podcast, let us know, because he'd be a great guest. I'd love to ask him a bunch of questions, and yeah.
And go from there. Hey, Rick, did you see the interview with JT Miller like 2 nights ago? He just
No.
came back so there was an interview with JT Miller. He was just coming back after a 10-game hiatus where he was dealing with personal problems. And he comes on the interview and he goes, listen, I'm not talking, you guys can ask me whatever questions you want. I'm not going to talk about what I was doing. I'm not going to talk about the past. All I'm going to talk about is the future. So I know it's your job to ask me questions, but I'm not going to answer them. I mean, how do you feel about that? Like you're a public
Fine.
figure, stuff's going on. He was
Yeah, I think
pretty.
there's stuff that has
Go
to be
ahead.
personal though. Like he's got to set a boundary, and I think that's okay. Like
Hmm.
I have no problem with him saying I'm not talking about that. Like he's got no obligation to talk about anything that's going on. Zero. Like for the people who do talk to the media and who do interview and all that kind of stuff, that's like obviously there's media training they receive and they're prepared to
Hmm.
do that. But there's some stuff like I think people in the media can poke too far. You can go and you start prying into somebody's personal, and you upset the process, and then you ruin it for the next guy. And hey, if he doesn't want to talk about it, cool, don't talk about
Sure.
it. It doesn't affect me
Makes sense.
unless I'm the interviewer, in which case, what an a-hole.
Well, inquiring minds want to know, right? It was like, dude, what's going on? Come on, you gonna talk to us
It
about it? What's
yeah.
happening? It's
Well,
interesting to
hey,
find out. But yeah, I hear you
we want to know what happened to Matthews, right? What
for
happened to
sure.
his back? What's wrong with his back? Why did he have to
Yeah,
go to Germany to see a doctor there?
yeah.
Like, I'd love to know what happened, but I don't think we're ever gonna know,
Well,
because
yeah, we'll never know.
teams need to protect the guy too, right? So,
Back.
hey, no, you go.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say it was interesting with how outspoken JT Miller was about like, shut the hell up, I'm not telling you anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was really like that. I was like, oh, and because he was doing it that way, that's why I'm like, now I kind of want to know more. You know what I mean? Like if he would said, hey, I would appreciate it if you didn't ask me about what's going on and something between me and my family, and I got to deal with, so we're not going to talk about that and move on. But it wasn't like that. He was like, guess what, guys? We're not talking about it. It was almost like he was daring you. He wasn't, but that's how I felt. And because he went about it that way, I'm like, I'm gonna go find out. You know what I mean? That's how I felt.
Well, I think what I would say is we don't want the people listening to our show to do what JT Miller is suggesting. We want to hear from the people that are listening to the show. We want to hear from you, and we want you to connect with
Hmm.
us on social media. We want to hear from you on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and you can follow us and hear us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean. a couple other mediums that are out there, and we definitely want to hear from you. We want to hear what you're thinking and want to hear your ideas, and we love the fact that people have engaged with us on a couple of different mediums, like getting a lot of comments on the TikTok, a lot of comments on the short videos that are going out there. So we love that. We love to hear your thoughts and comments and opinions, and keep them coming. We definitely want to hear from you and engage with you. Anything else, Jay, before we wrap this one up? Week number 9 in the books.
I just say happy holidays to everybody, and a big, huge shout out to number 59, Jake Gensel. Buddy, you're the man. I love it, and I'm going to pump your tires, and good for you for watching a good podcast and laughing at us.
Well, that's it for us this week, folks. Love that you're here listening to us. Happy holidays. Take care. Thanks for tuning in to the Hockey Huddle and hanging out with us through all the slap shots, big hits, and highlight reel plays. Whether you're a diehard fan or just getting into the game, we appreciate you being part of our hockey family. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and hit us up on social media with your thoughts, questions, or hot takes. We love hearing from you. Until next time, keep your stick on the ice, your head up, and we'll catch you in the next period. Take care, everyone.